7 months ago, my husband and I eloped in Lake Como, Italy, and that was kind of just our vow exchange in a way because we officially got married the month after in Miami. Again, it was another elopement. If you want a cost breakdown for the Miami wedding, I'll do that separately, but I just want to focus on Lake Como for now. The only difference between the two is we didn't have our marriage license before we went to Italy, so we had to get it after we went to Italy, and you can't just get a marriage license in a country that you don't live in, right? So I want to break down majority of the cost because I made a TikTok not too long ago, kind of breaking down the cost, and it's been gaining some traction lately. I've been having a lot of questions. So I kind of want to answer those questions for you guys. Let's begin on location. We chose Lake Como, but it wasn't our first choice. We were thinking in between Spain. We were thinking also, I believe, like Tuscany or something like that. And then immediately I'm like, oh, iconic Lake Como, never been there before. But I was like, oh, we need to do this, right? So I started looking for hotels. Hotels were going to be the main thing because the elopement itself is just one singular day. All the elopement was having a photographer. We did our own personal vow exchange, our ring exchange, and then that was it. Literally, that was it. But with our hotel, it made it genuinely feel like a huge event, a wedding. Like this was like something really, really big for us. So location. I don't know how I came across this hotel, but I feel so grateful because they did packages. I would definitely recommend doing packages because it's pretty much like having a full itinerary already planned and booked for you. So we went with Grand Hotel Victoria in Lake Como in Monastero, and I will 1000% always recommend everyone to go there, especially if they have the same deal that they had for us. I'll read it through for you, but not only were the grounds absolutely stunning, the room was amazing, the service was incredible. There are so many little things that they really didn't have to do that they did for us. For example, one night we went out for pizza and I was just asking 1 a.m. at the time. So I called down to the desk and I'm like, hey, do you guys have a microwave? I just want to warm up my pizza from earlier, right? And they're like, okay, I'll send somebody up to your room. They get our pizza, literally put it in a fire oven or something and bring it back brand spanking new. Didn't have to do that. That was so sweet. Number two, regarding wedding stuff, I am such a type B bride. I was supposed to look for a florist in Lake Como, and it completely slipped my mind. The day before the wedding, I realized I don't have a bouquet. So I called down to the lobby. They knew my voice by then. And I was just like, hey, do you know anywhere that can deliver flowers that I can put an order in? Like, obviously not familiar with the area. And they're like, oh, no, don't worry. What color do you want? How many do you want? Do you want long stem, short stem? Whatever the case is. And then they hand delivered me a bouquet of roses for my wedding the morning of the wedding as I was getting ready. No stress, no nothing. That alone, 10 out of 10, I recommend. I personally want to go there every anniversary, but I don't know how likely that is. Anywho, so we stayed at Grand Hotel Victoria, and at the time they had the secret garden package. I'm reading off of an email that they sent me that has the breakdown of everything, but they did have a flyer on their website. And the only reason I found it was because it was on the website. I'm not sure if it still is or if, I don't know how often they run that special, but I'll tell you everything that was included. So it was 3 nights in a prestige park view room, a 3-hour boat tour with onboard picnic with local delicacies to explore the most charming villas and gardens alongside the shores of Lake Como, entrance for 2 at Villa Caprese Botanical Garden, an aperitivo with sunset view at Bar Giardino at Royal Victoria, 1 dinner for 2 at the Lago restaurant. Beverages were not included, but it was still a Michelin star restaurant. And then also a 50-minute personalized couple massage at the Erie Spa. The Erie Spa is located in Grand Hotel Victoria, and the Erie Spa is the #1 rated spa in all of Lake Como. When I tell you this spa was stunning, like it was so stunning. There's videos on, we did vlog the whole thing, of course. Me trying to be the YouTuber that I want to be. We did vlog the whole thing. So if you do want to watch any of these videos, everything is posted. My wedding video is posted, so you can see how that came out. If you're interested in our photographer, videographer, you can see how that came out. I'm going to show you guys a little bit of pictures as we go throughout. But I would definitely recommend, if you're truly looking into a Lake Como wedding, I would recommend watching our videos just so you could see like what it would actually feel like for you, okay? The rate also includes breakfast every morning, access to the spa, as long as you're there. Covered parking, complimentary Wi-Fi, and a 10% VAT or service charge that was included. And whether you're familiar with a VAT tax or not, when you're overseas, they do charge VAT tax to foreigners that are, and it's something that you can get refunded back to you if you claim it in the airport. I never knew how to do it. I should learn how to do it because I travel very often. I didn't do it, but it's pretty much like a rebate. It's like a little refund. That's really good, and especially because it was 10%. The thing about us, right? You only get married once. The room that's included is the Prestige Park View room. And again, the grounds are stunning. You cannot go wrong. But we wanted to upgrade to a room with a balcony. And then we ended up having a room with a view of the pool, the park. You can almost see like Lake Como in the distance, mountains to the right of us. And I think it was just like a little bit more. At the time, we were looking for the month of October, which is off season for Lake Como, which I would always recommend traveling in off season if you can, of course. It was from the 9th to the 12th, and the total was 1,813 euros per person. And that is not including the upgraded balcony room, right? So I'm gonna go ahead and convert that. I'm currently filming this on May 13th, 2025. That conversion comes out to the $1,813 for the original package with just the park view room comes out to $2,016. Everything else is included, but we ended up upgrading our room. Okay, so full transparency, I can't find the exact amount, but I want to say, and I'm pretty sure that I'm correct, it was 1,920 euros per person in order to upgrade to the balcony suite. To me, 1,000% worth it. Getting ready in the morning, waking up every single day, being able to like open the doors and see like all of Lake Como, walk out on the balcony and just, I don't know, to me, it was so worth it. That conversion would be $2,135 today per person, right? And currently, I think it's only $35 more than what it was when we were booking. And I say that because I do have my budget template from the wedding on my phone still. And I had $4,200 budgeted for the 3 days in Lake Como at Grand Hotel Victoria. The day of our wedding was October 11th. We did a half-day shoot with our videographer and photographer, which I also would recommend. Their names are Jake and Janessa. To this day, we still talk to them. They literally just DM'd me today. Like, we stay in contact. If I'm ever in Spain, I'm definitely 1,000% gonna visit them. So we did a 6-hour shoot with them. I don't think they limited the locations, to be completely honest, but we were gonna have hotel photos taken and then boat photos taken, and then we were going to go to 2 different villas, Villa Balbiano and Villa Monastero. So when it comes to booking the villas in Lake Como, you can either book the opening hours, book the closing hours, and if you book either of those, you would have the whole place to yourself, but it's significantly more money, right? Or you can book, I think we had closing hours when it was still open, right? Or you can do opening hours when it's completely empty. Villa Balbiano, which is like the most famous villa or whatever the case is, all you have to do is book a photo shoot, show up in your dress, and you just do your thing, right? It was 600 euros for, I believe it was an hour and a half. And we were able to take pictures, do the full photo shoot, everything like that. If you try to do a photo shoot, they give you a badge. If you try to do a photo shoot there, without it, I'm pretty sure they make you delete all of the photos or they like kick you out or whatever the case is. So I wouldn't say be sneaky, especially on your wedding day. And then Villa Monastero, it was 300 euros, but it rained the day before and then they canceled on us the day before. What we were going to do was go to Villa Monastero. They have like this beautiful like balcony type thing. Not really good with my words, but it was really pretty. Really excited to do our vows there. And then they canceled on us the day before. Our wedding photographer and videographer actually came to Lake Como like 2 or 3 months before our elopement because it was going to be their first time shooting an elopement in Lake Como. So they wanted to like pick out some areas, see where they can actually do photos, all of the good things. They went above and beyond for us because, mind you, they're based in Spain. So they really did their big one for us. I feel like also, pro tip, you don't have to find vendors that are central to that area as long as they're willing to explore. And a lot of like European photographers, videographers, anything like that, it's like a hop, skip, and a jump away. It's not like that hard to get around Europe, you know? So yeah, so our videographer and photographer were from Spain. We're gonna get to that in a second, but right now we talk villas. Villa Monastero canceled on us. Balbiano did not. So we ended up paying the 600 euros for that, and we got a 300 euro refund from Villa Monastero for flaking on us. Where we ended up doing our vows was a free park. It was a free park absolutely stunning. Nobody was there, and it was something that our videographer and photographer both found for us. So we didn't really have to do any like too much research, which I'm so grateful for. Okay, so boom, our videographer and photographer, right? They came out to for the 6-hour shoot, and I believe we got over 500 photos. The video was between 2 to 3 minutes. We got our previews pretty much next day. Like when we left, we got to Milan, and then we had our photos, and that was like a huge thing for us to be able to see that in that moment as well. They came out to 3,500 euros. Converted comes out to $3,892 US dollars. And for somebody that's traveling to us, 2 people, they're already a team, they work well together, we've seen their work, it's phenomenal. To us, it was worth it. 1,000% it was worth it. So at this point, we're up to, I'm just going to throw in the 600 euros converted, comes out to 667 US dollars, and that was for Villa Balbiano. We're currently at $8,797. And outside of that, that was pretty much everything for us. Outside of flower bouquet that I really needed the day before I got from the hotel, it was 60 USD. We had a boat. Okay, so to get to the villa, you need a boat. You need a boat, or else you're going to end up walking a mile around the long end, whatever. So we had to get a private boat as a charter just to get to and from Villa Balbiano. Sorry, I'm trying to remember everything. That was 400 euros. That takes us to 9,222 USD. And what are we missing? I'm solely going based off of what you would need there. That's it. I'm going to get into my personal expenses afterwards. Dress, makeup, shoes, hair, all of that. But that's just what you need in order to actually achieve a Lake Como elopement. Bing, bang, boom. Final number for that comes out to $9,282. That's not saying that you can't do it for cheaper, because 1,000% you can. But that's just like, we're the type of people that are like, oh, you only get married once. Oh, you only get married once. Oh, you only get married once. And then we upgrade as much as humanly possible. And I enjoyed my time. And again, you can watch that on YouTube right here. Anywho, moving on. So hair and makeup. I had a wig made from, her name is Ashley Akemi. She's based in Miami, where I live full-time, but right now I'm traveling full-time. And she also moved to DC just now. But anywho, her name's Ashley Akemi. You can find her on Instagram, and she sells wigs, which is so phenomenal. I had my wig installed behind my hairline, so it looked so natural. The wind was blowing. You could barely tell. It was super easy, super nice. That wig in and of itself, it was expensive, but I still have it. And I can't wait to get back to Miami and throw that girl on. I literally can't wait. I believe that came out to around $800, including install, if I'm not wrong. For hair and nails, I got my nails done, just regular acrylics before we went. That was my hair. Makeup, the entire month, no, I want to say 3 months before we eloped, I started practicing doing my own makeup. I did my own makeup the morning of the wedding. Again, you can see that in a video, how I achieved whatever look, if you like the look. It wasn't hard. I was happy. The thing about me is I'm a very type B bride, and I just knew that the way I look was almost going to be, well, first of all, I feel confident in the way I look no matter what, especially when my wig is on and my makeup is done in the slightest. I knew that the way that I looked was not going to be like the main attraction of the entire day. So that was kind of like, okay, I can do my hair, I can do my makeup. I do it every day for work anyway. So bada bing, bada boom. Jewelry I got from a random website. I wish I could find the website, but it was $175 for my necklace, bracelet, earrings, and then also a headpiece that didn't stay in for majority of the time. So that was just that. My shoes were from Steve Madden, and they were $100 on sale. Got it at the mall. Fun, cute, easy. Oh, okay. And then this is the only thing that I think that I think that I stretched the budget out with. I'm going to add everything together, right? So to have the basic, just to achieve the Lake Como dream wedding, comes out to $9,282, right? Perfect. And then all of the extras, so my shoes were $100, my hair was $800, my nails at the time were probably like $150, and then let's say I spent $150 on new makeup to try, right? That comes out to $10,482. I'm gonna go ahead and round that up to $10,500. That was how I achieved our wedding, right? And then it comes to attire. And this is where it's very, very, very much up to you. I got my wedding dress from Vero Bridal in Miami. The service, amazing. Tanya, I will love to the ends of the earth. She was so incredible. I had 2 fittings. I went with the first time with my best friends, and it was just fun trying it on. But in the moment, I gasped. The second I gasped, I knew this is the dress. This is the one, right? And then just for funsies, and for bonding purposes, of course, because I love my family so much, I invited my husband's mom, sister-in-law, and grandma. So pretty much all of my in-laws. And then we went the second time. I kind of already knew what I wanted, but I was like, okay, let's go. Let's get their opinion and let's try things on. That's when we really put the nail in the coffin on that one, right? So for total, I had 2 dresses, 2 veils. She gave me, and it was on sale. I waited till Memorial Day. And then, or it was like some type of holiday. And I believe it was like 10 to 15% off, which I'm so grateful for. And then Tanya is just phenomenal. And the shorter veil, she ended up throwing in for free for me. So in total, 2 dresses, 2 veils came out to $4,700. And then my husband's tuxes, he realized, well, he didn't realize. I told him, hey, babe, I have 2 looks. Like, I got 2 dresses. Like, it is what it is. Like, it is what it is. And his tux came out to $200, but when he found out I had 2 looks, he wanted 2 looks, rightfully so, king. Stand up for yourself, go off. And his total came out to $432 after tax, which was good for me, because now we have 2 tuxes that are like sized, customized, fitted to his body, and I have a wedding dress that I believe is timeless, that I plan on passing down to my daughters when I have kids. And I have the most stunning veil. I'm so obsessed with my veil. You have no idea. I am so obsessed with my veil. That brings us up to, in total, for our Lake Como wedding. Okay, what I won't include is transportation. The only reason I didn't include transportation is because we use credit card points. And that's a whole video in and of itself. I'm going to tell you the short story of it all, but then eventually I have to break this down to you guys because you have to understand the lore. If you plan on spending any money on your wedding, open up new credit cards. I don't care what anybody tells you. Open up new credit cards. If you know that you're going to spend the money and you know you have to pay it off regardless, do not take out a loan. Do not do anything like that. Open up new credit cards. Spend it. Spend it. Spend it. You will always get a bonus. And then once you open up a credit card, refer that same credit card to your partner. Have them open up the same credit card. So now you get a referral bonus plus the opening bonus. Just like that, you'll have like 100,000 points, whatever the case is. So we spent $15,000. In the course of that, I believe we opened like 4, maybe 5 credit cards. We're really good at credit cards. We're really good at budgeting. All of our cards were paid off as soon as we opened them. We did it with time so that, okay, we have $4,000. Let's book the hotel. Book the hotel. Let it sit for a month. Paid that girl off immediately. Because there's also like an interest-free time period usually when you open up a new credit card. So we ended up using our credit card points in order to book our flights. We booked round-trip flights to Zurich, Switzerland, because you can't just fly into Lake Como. That's just not how it works. You either fly to Milan and then you take a train over, or you fly to Switzerland and you take a train over, you know? I'm sure there's another route, but those are the 2 routes that I figured out. And then I was like, I love Switzerland. Let's go to Switzerland. So we flew into Zurich, flew out of Zurich. If not, I believe the round trip tickets for both of us at the time, again, it was off season, I think it was going to come out to $800 per person. So if you want to add the $1,600 in for 2 people, you can go ahead and do that. That was leaving from Miami airport, right? But yeah. And then the hotels, every other hotel was booked with credit card points as well. I think it's really important that I talk about credit card points. So whether you like it or not, I'm probably going to make a video, but like, tell me you want it. Tell me you like it. Tell me you want to hear it. That would make me feel really good inside. Anywho, yeah, so that is my Lake Como elopement budget breakdown. For me and my husband, we do have 2 wedding dates because that Lake Como date, it was just me and him. It was October 11th, 2024, but my mom passed away when I was 15 and I really wanted to include her some way in a very significant way. So I wanted our official wedding date to be on her birthday, which is November 13th, 11/13, right? Which makes today our official 6 months because it's May 13th. That being said, we had a family wedding, just our families and our closest friends. We rented out an Airbnb in Miami for 3 days. We all stayed there. It was absolutely stunning. It was so much fun. We had a Sprinter van take us to a brunch and then pick us up, take us back to the house. We had a boat booked and rented, but just minor mechanical issues, and I'd rather be safe than sorry. But if you guys ever need a yacht rental, I have the perfect yacht company that is so reliable and so good and will always put your safety first in any occasion. Yeah, and then we did a courthouse wedding. We went to both courthouses. Let me not spoil it. You want a video, don't you? I'm going to give you a video on that. Anywho, that's everything. I don't want to keep yapping because I can and I will if I have the chance. Our total came out to $5,614 USD. And of course, you can do it cheaper. That's just us. That's just how it came out for us. If you have any questions, I will happily answer them in the comments. If you have any concerns, I would say keep it to yourself. Just kidding. Just a joke. I'm just joking. Anyway, bye. That's all I got.
They were in high school when they met, and things got kinda awkward. With sparks in the air, he would stare at her in class, and she would try to act cool. But it was obvious, like, ooh,